Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar, Supporting People-Centric Records Management with OnePlace Solutions. Thank you for taking time out and being here today. My name is Leslie Anjan, the Principal Consultant with Promatix. Joining me today will be Patrick Gibson and Elisa Calgary from OnePlace Mail product team. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question box in your GoToWebinar control panel. We will bring them up during the presentation, and we will also have time for questions at the end. And if you miss anything during today, please contact us directly, and we will be glad to assist. Promatix has been running various webinars on documents and records management theme, including migration from legacy records management to Office 365. As an organization, you may want to either migrate your records management to Office 365 and in conjunction with various third-party records management products within the Microsoft ecosystem, or you may wish to continue leveraging your current records management application and still take advantage of the collaboration features of Teams and SharePoint. We have a case study for all these scenarios, and we are keen to discuss this in detail based around your organizational requirements. Our customers are transitioning their digital services to best support the end user experience, and these includes their documents and records management systems. Have you ever wondered how much time people waste trying to track down documents or records? According to a recent survey, employees spend up to 1.8 hours a day looking for the correct document or information. Records management has been an integral part of organizational transformation. Organizations today have a greater focus on business continuity, particularly with the rush to adapt to remote working situation. In records management, a complex task and a pain for your hybrid workforce, today you will learn how the tool can simplify creating and classifying records for your users. Would you like to reduce your record copying cost using technology you already know? Your IT managers will appreciate it because your users won't need to learn anything new. Is the cost of your records keeping too high? Is compliance a struggle? Learn how trusted technology can reduce the complexity, cost, and headache of records keeping, archiving, and compliance. Join us on this webinar, How to Build a Successful Documents Records Management Solution with Microsoft 365, and find out how OnePlace Solutions simplifies and enhances the user experience. Learn ways to remove complexity and minimize context switching by bringing your Office 365 solutions to where people work. Promatix is proud of the breadth of our partnerships, none more than our Microsoft Gold partnership. We work with our state, federal, and private customers, helping them get the most from the Microsoft investment by enabling them to more easily use and share information as individuals and in teams. We design, implement, and support Microsoft technology solutions that align with our customers' priorities to deliver measurable and tangible positive outcomes. Promatix across 5 key verticals, taking our customers through entirety of the digital transformation and its ongoing management. Today, we will be focusing on digital workplace and collaboration vertical with our discussions around supporting people-centric records management with OnePlace Mail Solutions. Today's demo revolves around how OnePlace Mail can simplify your day-to-day activity. OnePlace Mail seamlessly connects Microsoft Outlook to SharePoint and Office 365 to improve collaboration, business productivity, and records management across the organization. Add to this, Promatix are one of the premier partners with OnePlace Mail. Without any further delays, I'd like to invite our next presenters from OnePlace Mail, Patrick and Elisa. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, Leslie, for the great introduction there. My name's Patrick from the team at OnePlace Solutions, and I'm also joined by Elisa Caliguri. Hi there, Elisa.
Hi, Patrick. Hi, everyone.
Excellent. Leslie, did you want to continue with the slide deck just briefly, or would you like me to bring up that slide deck? I'm happy either way.
I'll continue with the slide deck.
Excellent. We'll just a couple more slides before we jump into the live demonstration. A quick introduction from my side. My name's Patrick. I look after global sales and partner channels for OnePlace Solutions and a bit of a product specialist when it comes to presentations. Elisa, if you'd like a quick introduction from your side before we jump into things.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. Hi, everyone. I'm part of the team at OnePlace Solutions, and I work across the pre-sale and technical team to assist in implementation, so a focus on solutions and enablement for OnePlace Solutions.
Thanks very much, Elisa. So look, today's webinar will be focused on record management and just basically the way in which the OnePlace Solutions suite of products is there to support your end users in the journey of ensuring that you've got good record keeping in place with the support of Microsoft 365 and the team at Promatix. Promatix are a long-standing partner of OnePlace Solutions, and we've had very successful deployments over time. The team at Promatix have done some very successful migrations into Microsoft 365, and what we're going to highlight today is where our solution suite are a great add-on to that Microsoft 365 platform to really bring and emphasize the seamless email management. We'll touch on enriching your document management system built out and also personalizing your experience of SharePoint and Microsoft 365 more broadly. The product suite is designed to help you capture records, capture emails, capture attachments, capture Word documents and so forth, classify them with important metadata. You can have additional metadata tags for classification labels, and that can in turn create workflows, which is quite exciting from an IT perspective and compliance perspective to ensure that records are kept for certain periods of time, and we'll show you that, as well as being able to access that content using that rich metadata and the indexing and searching of content. So we're really looking forward to showing how these three pillars revolve around end user adoption of that platform and seamless ways in which they can work with the content. If you could just jump to the next slide for me, please there, Leslie. One of the key aspects here is really that integration between not only Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Adobe into the SharePoint and 365 platform, but we're going to start today's demonstration in Outlook. There's a lot of key information that comes into any organization via Outlook, and working with that content is important. So towards the end of today's presentation, we'll touch on the mobile capabilities as well of being able to capture, classify, and access content from not only the workstation that you might be working on a day-to-day basis, but your mobile device, so Outlook on iOS, Outlook on Android, and we'll show you the OWA environment being able to save directly to a SharePoint or Microsoft Teams location, also OneDrive for Business as well. So encompassing a lot of those Microsoft 365 locations. All right, I think we're going to now move to a live demonstration. So I'll just go about sharing my screen here where I've got a demo environment set up. If you could just make me presenter, I think it is.
While you're getting organised there, as Leslie mentioned, if you do have any questions, please feel free to send them through as we go through the demonstration.
So Patrick, you're presenter now.
Yeah, wonderful. Excellent. Yeah, so feel free to add any questions into the chat window as we go through today's session. So just starting off, we're going to talk a little bit about an email coming into an inbox. So just for clarity, I'm logged in here as Sally Jones, and Sally Jones will be a project manager for the organization today, receiving an email here from Tom Brown, which has an intellectual property agreement, so a Word document attached. And what we want to try and highlight is that rather than having to context switch and move across into a new system, we can bring the systems built on Microsoft 365 through to the users. You'll see a bit of orientation around the screen here. You can see a copy to SharePoint button, a move to SharePoint button. If you right click on an email, there's also some options here of copy and move to SharePoint, And very similarly, within the email attachment, you can also copy selected attachments to SharePoint. So what we're doing there is bringing to life the systems that you have created and making it really easy to work with that content. I can also drag and drop to this left navigation tree, and you can see here Promatix Digital Workplace. So the different solutions built out on Microsoft 365 can be brought to the users. And I'm just going to drag and drop to this project management system, and you can see things like an all project search, my active projects. I'm just going to drag and drop to an all project search. So that's 856 email has now enlisted a query across your SharePoint. So what we've done here is you could have a records compliance project to make sure that all emails are saved and logged correctly. And I'm just going to bring through and save to the Greenview Earthworks location here, and I can save across into the email library. Now, if I'm working regularly with this location and library, I can actually add it to my favorites as well, which we'll show you in a moment, and that will come through and make it really easy to save content. One important aspect here is this content type, so the OnePlace Mail email content type, and we've locked down all the other records in behind the scenes there, which importantly is the to, the from, the sender, and all of that key metadata that's really important when saving an email. We also have a individual hash code on the back of an email, so you can see the 856 specific, and there's also an individual code, which means that duplication checking is done on the emails when they are saved into SharePoint. So with just one drag and drop motion, selecting the right location and pressing save, we've captured the to, the from, the sender, important metadata, whether the email has an attachment. It's a true and accurate record that's been saved into SharePoint. And just to quickly show you that, I'm going to just open up that email library very quickly, just to show you that content has come across. Elisa, maybe you'd like to talk a little bit about the email as a record there?
Yeah, thanks, Patrick. Leslie mentioned some really great points earlier in the introduction around the benefits of record management. And as mentioned, like accurate metadata becomes incredibly important to allow for better or enhanced record management. And that's really regardless of the solution that's been built in SharePoint. As you just said, like the OnePlace Solutions will automatically capture email metadata when copying to SharePoint, which is the to and the from that we can see there in the email date. But there's also extended options that we can offer, which allow you to capture AIP or sensitivity labels. So if you are capturing that important metadata, if an email is public or private or sensitive, these bits of metadata can be applied when saving to SharePoint so that a true and accurate record is saved. Then if you do have retention policies set on that location, whether it might be how long a content policy, a content should be retained for, or when it can be deleted, you've got that confidence that, you know, email and documents are being tagged appropriately.
Thanks very much,
So I
Elisa.
guess, yeah, I was just going to say the first challenge remains in how to, you know, create an engaging and simplified system to capture, classify content, but then how to work with that content once it's in SharePoint and how to edit metadata. So maybe we can show that, Patrick, in how to simplify the maintaining of metadata or updating metadata.
Yeah, that's a great point there. Actually, I'll just open up this meta correspondence library. So the beauty here is we're able to bring through and have you know, the email subject, email names and so forth coming through. But the beauty of having that system built out on Microsoft 365, but then being able to deliver those locations back to users in a really quick and succinct way is that you can drive into any of these locations for whatever reasons. If there's a particular matter documents library, and there could be document status. If I jump into this agreements location, you can see that we've got key metadata that's involved with these files, and I can actually adjust those properties. So not only can we search via the metadata, but we can actually make adjustments to those properties. So just changing from draft to review, I'll click save, and that actually changes that metadata in SharePoint. Now, just for full transparency, I'm going to just jump that out into the browser just to show you that this is the content that we're working with. So you can see that this content is in SharePoint, and what we're doing is we're bringing that to users in a really succinct way and making those adjustments to any metadata requirements within the system. But bringing the that document management system built on Microsoft 365 to users in a succinct way, and also being able to search for content. If I maybe click into, let's have a think here, I'll just jump into maybe my, what have I got here? All my projects I manage. You can see there's 3 projects that I manage, and I'm able to access that content. I'll just quickly go to all project search. Sorry, I wanted to just show all of those different locations that can come through, and being able to find exactly which location. I think it was the Greenview Earthworks location that I saved to, the documents library as well, and matter correspondence libraries. So being able to access very quickly and easily the right locations when you want to access them is really important. So going from there, sorry, Elisa.
No, I was just going to mention on the search component there that's all driven from SharePoint. So there's no additional configuration, so you get that full power of the SharePoint search experience in Outlook or other Office applications that you're working in.
Yes, no, that's a great point to make there. So if you have a lot of documents in a particular location and you'd like to search for something in particular, I'll just use the word demo. All of the indexing is done by SharePoint, and you're able to then filter by team member responsible or something like that. You can obviously use the metadata as well as the search, and be able to bring back the properties as well as being able to preview that content. So it's leveraging the SharePoint search, which is just a great feature of the OnePlace Solutions suite of products. Thanks very much, Elisa. All right, so talking about working with that content, and I know one thing that happens with a lot of users is you get content into a records and compliance system, but then if you're needing to for example, work with that email, one nice thing is that OnePlace Solutions will simply allow you to double click on the email and it opens as an email. You can then reply back to that email if required. So if I just write back here, hi Sally, and then I can also insert content directly when composing an email there and pick up in particular any recent locations that I've just saved to, so I can pop that in as an attachment, or I can also share as a link. If you're sharing that internally, I'll just pop this one in as an attachment. And then in the final part of the compliance side of things, if you're having to file outbound emails, if I click send, you'll be prompted with a pop-up to say, would you like to save this to SharePoint, or you can send and file back to the email library that you were just saving to. So it's a really succinct and easy way to work with that information, connecting to SharePoint in a seamless way. And what you'll see is the outbound email. I'll just close that down and open up email again. The sent items, you'll be able to visually see which ones have been transferred to SharePoint. So really quickly and easily, we've been able to show how we can save a record to your Microsoft 365 platform, delivering locations importantly to the users on the left navigation tree, being able to access that content. I can click into all active projects and see all of those key projects that we're working on, accessing all of the content, the documents and so forth that are sitting inside there, any subfolders. So being able to access that information quickly and easily is really important, and then being able to search across that. Now, we've shown that within Outlook here, and I'm just going to jump across to the Docs Explorer window. So this is a complementary way of finding your content and working with your content. And in the same way, you can see here that I've got my favorites are following me in the same sense that I had in the OnePlace Mail product. But what we're doing here is making it easy for you to work with your records, work with your information, and work with the content. So in the same format, we've got the ability to access, again, the document library, any key metadata that's coming through, the search capabilities that Elisa spoke about, any version controls as well. I think I've got, maybe I'll just go to a recent location where I've got some matters library here, and I'll just see if I've got some previous versions of this document. You can see here we've got 5 versions of the document. I've changed the invoice status to paid for this one, and other PG edit and so forth. So as I make edits to a file within your system, you can record all of those version history and have an easy way to view it. Obviously preview, and also the properties there. So if I did want to make an edit to maybe invoice status or invoice date, I can quickly and easily change that maybe to today's date and click save, and that will change the properties within the document. You can have other views available as well. So you can see here I've got a fee invoice view. So invoice status is coming through. Anything that's been created on that SharePoint platform, and in behind the scenes, you can see that we're making it as easy as possible to make some changes to that metadata and work with the content efficiently within your Microsoft 365 platform. All right. Is there anything you'd like to touch on there from the search side of things? The left navigation tree here will give you the ability to search all locations. So for example, I can just pop in the word Canyon, and that will bring back all of the SharePoint locations or Microsoft 365 locations with the word Canyon in there. I can access the Canyon Creek Roadworks location, the document library, any subfolders can be seen. I can drive into those subfolders as well, the financial library here, and you can see emails and documents that have been saved there. If you've got different views, as I mentioned, they can bring those through as well. You can obviously go up a view. So that's talking about searching for locations. Talking about searching of content, I'm able to do that search within the search bar, and again bringing through any other metadata that's required. So it's a really nice way of working with that content, searching for content, and also delivering locations to your users on this left navigation tree. So it's a nice way of being able to find things like my active projects and things like that, all active projects, to try and streamline what's important for the user groups within any organization. Is there any questions you'd like to flow through there,
No, I
Lisa?
think you've touched on the search, and the benefits of capturing a true and accurate record is obviously when you do try to find something other than for compliance and records retention policies, but when you're trying to work with that content, it does make it a lot easier when you've got some valuable metadata there.
Yeah, excellent. All right, so I'll see if there's any questions that Leslie would like to put through to the team here. But as we're doing that, I've spoken a little bit about the couple of different workstations there of being able to access content within that Microsoft 365 platform within Outlook, and obviously being able to save things efficiently. What I might just do now is just click on a PDF file and open that up. And one beauty of the OnePlace Docs solution that we touched on, of being able to have that enriched document management system, is that you can access OnePlace Docs through Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Adobe, and have the ability to save a copy directly to SharePoint. So you can make some edits to a file, and then you're presented with the same dialog box that we had within OnePlace Mail and within the Docs Explorer window. So you can have those same favorites, so that it's extremely easy to save to a particular project library that you have favorited. If there's key metadata that's important, you can fill out that metadata. Things like the people and groups column here, you can search for a team member and allocate information to team members as well, which is quite exciting. There can be different text columns and date columns, and also task lists and associate tasks with anything that's important within your system. And you can again have that sort of status of documents as well, and other lookup columns as well. So it's really exciting. If you wanted to as well, you can also edit the file name here as it goes into SharePoint. So for an example, if you've created a new PDF and needing to rename that with a particular file number or naming, you can obviously do that in the save process. So it's really saving a fair bit of time there to ensure that you've got accurate records as you save them to SharePoint and work with that content. And then flowing across anything that's a recent file location that you've been working on, you're able to access that content as well via the Docs Explorer window. What I might do quickly is just talk a little bit about the mobile capabilities. If I jump to maybe the web browser and open up an Outlook experience here. So again, I'm just logged in as Sally Jones, and I've got another email here from Tom Brown. Maybe I'll just pop down to this Cave and Sonic email. And what I can do here is the little OnePlace Mail app will show up. And what we're making possible is that working across devices, as I mentioned earlier, the Outlook on iOS, Outlook on Android device, being able to save the email. And just from a records perspective, it's the entire email, including attachment. We also have an additional feature here if you'd like to split the attachment out as a second entry in your SharePoint or Microsoft 365. As I click next, we can deliver the solution profile. So what was listed as the Promatix SharePoint or digital workplace there. You can see the same project management system is coming through. You can see my active projects coming through. So those are the top 3. I can also go to all active projects and access all of those. This is really nice being able to get to that Greenview Earthworks project when needed, and then save off to the email library as required. So trying to make it really, really easy to get your records in. You can see that the same OnePlace Mail email content type is available. So that, again, that key metadata, the to, the from, the sender, is all going to be captured within Microsoft 365 for true and accurate records. And then I'm also, at this point, I can click finish, but just a quick little side note here that you can also notify a Microsoft Teams channel just for that assistance with collaboration. So it might be that I have to talk with some of the engineers about a particular project, and I can just say, hi team, please review. So then I can also mention one of those team members. So maybe Amy here has to be notified of that information. So that quick process there, I've saved the email, I've saved the attachment, I've applied metadata to those files as it's gone into the SharePoint location, and then I've been able to finish off the conversation by moving it into a fast-paced, fast-moving engineers channel within Microsoft Teams. I think it's one of my hidden channels here. Where's my engineers? There it is. And I'll just go to the home channel, and you can see, hi team, please review. So I've been able to actually move that conversation into your fast-paced chat window when required, and you can see that it will link off back to the file saved in SharePoint, which is really nice. So it's being able to work with that content, and you can see that that's all saved through into SharePoint. So it's just working with that content and working with it efficiently and fast, but are capturing that key metadata as we go through the information. So it's really important just to make sure you can see here that the true and accurate record of email date, email to, email from. You can expand on the visible columns that you'd like possible for the end users within the organization, but behind the scenes there's about 28 different data points that have been captured, including, you know, has it got an attachment, attachment names, and other key metadata available for that. All right, is there anything else you'd like to add there, Elisa?
No, I think you've covered the main points there. We do have a couple of questions. Would you like those now,
Yeah,
or would you like to finish it?
I got a few questions here, Patrick and Alyssa. Is that can I fire that now?
Yeah, please do.
So one of the question is this platform using Power Automate for the workflow?
Yeah, certainly, good question. So with the ability to save information to SharePoint locations, there's no Power Automate required for that. It's simply about making the metadata columns available within SharePoint. If you're looking to create a workflow off the back of receiving a piece of metadata from an email, for example, a classified label, then you could use Microsoft Flow or Power Automate to have a particular retention label set on that file when it hits your platform of Microsoft 365 from a record keeping perspective. Does that help answer the question there?
Yep, that's perfect. The next question here is, does the compliance come with this platform, or does it need to be set up in the background, or on some different tool that needs to be added?
Yeah, certainly. No, that's a good question. I guess what I've shown here with the OnePlace Solutions suite of products is the ability for these add-ins to be available for your end users to integrate with your platform. So the compliance side of things would be set up within SharePoint for different workflows and different requirements within the system. So that's something that Leslie and the team at Promatix would be able to help with. OnePlace Solutions is the add-ins that make it possible to save to the required locations really easily from Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and also that File Explorer experience. So being able to, for example, upload to a particular location. If you're uploading something from your local device and you had the date modified and wanted to keep that original date modified file, you can obviously add a file from here and upload it and apply any particular metadata requirements. But the actual workflows and the compliance center would be set up within the Microsoft 365 platform by the team at Promatix for you.
Thanks, Patrick. So in terms of another question here, the question is: we have a naming convention when saving documents or emails. Can this be implemented?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. What I might do is just, there is a set of configurations actually. I'll just quickly open this up very briefly, but I have actually, I don't think I changed the email header. Elisa, maybe you could help me with
File
what it's
name, email file
called.
name.
Email file
Yep.
name format. Yep. So we do have a couple of options. You can, one thing I did touch on very briefly was the unique hash code to ensure duplication checking, but there are some values that you can set for your emails. So you can have, for example, year, month, date format and so forth. And then we would suggest that you use the individual hash code, which is created complementary with OnePlace Mail, so that if someone is trying to save an email to the same location, there is a duplication checking, so that there's a unique hash code based on the email metadata and the time and date of the email via the UTC timestamp. So the short answer is yes, you can edit the file name if you've got a particular file name that you'd like to save with the email format.
Just a final question here, Patrick. It's that we've got a SharePoint Online instance, we got on-premise SharePoint instances. Can this all be merged and displayed in OnePlace Mail interface?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the OnePlace, just for 100% clarity, the OnePlace Mail app in the web browser is exclusive to the SharePoint Online platform. However, what I'm showing you here in the Outlook experience, if I click on Save to SharePoint, the SharePoint site collections can be anywhere from SharePoint On-Prem 2013, 2016, 2019, and SharePoint Online. So there is the options to have connectivity in a hybrid situation, and all of the permissions that are arranged within those, whether it's hybrid or a single instance of SharePoint, will all be driven off your SharePoint. So OnePlace Mail will not override any of those permissions or AD groups and access to any of those locations. It's all driven off Microsoft 365. But for clarity, you can add a hybrid situation of SharePoint On-Prem 2013, 2016, or 2019, and SharePoint Online. So the beauty there is that within the digital workspace, you could, for example, have all active projects coming through and being delivered, and within these 10 or 20 or 30 projects, they could be half online and half on-prem without the users having any reason to worry about where that content is. We're providing that user interface to make it extremely easy to apply any metadata as you save to those locations. So probably a little bit long answer there, sorry for you, Leslie, but just wanted to cover off those different examples.
Perfect. Thanks, Patrick. That was an excellent presentation, and obviously you answered a lot of questions as well. Finally, would you like to add anything to this, Elisa, Patrick, before we conclude this?
Elisa, is there
Not
anything you'd
from
like to
me.
add there? No, that's okay. I was just, I couldn't help myself. I wanted to at least just do that final save on the screen as I was finishing up
Yeah,
there and just bringing through
perfect.
that metadata. But look, thank you very much for everyone's attendance today. If there is any questions that arise, feel free to triage those through Leslie and the team at Promatix, and they have full product support from the team at OnePlace Solutions. And we've been working extremely well as a partner vendor organization for many years now. So we've got the expertise on both fronts to be able to help with your overall records and compliance perspective.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you everyone for taking part as part of this webinar. If you have any further questions or queries, or if you want to talk more about records management itself, your strategy, the way we configure, please drop us an email. We are happy to help you. We also, if you want to know more about OnePlace Mail, please drop us an email. Thank you once again. Have a good day.
Thanks very much, everyone, for
Thank you.
attending.
Thank you.
You.